Hey, yeah. So, we're trying a new spread. Happy birthday, Capricorn. It's actually my birthday. It's my 40th birthday. So, apologies right away on this nail. I broke it. So, that is a thing. We're going to try a new spread. We're going to do I made it. It's called The Lover's Path. And it's like a X will mark the place thing, one path intersecting the other type thing. We're going to start with some magnetic poetry, followed by the cards. I was going to do an oracle deck, but I don't think I'm going to. And I do apologize. I do know that I have like 3 signs I didn't do for the Samhain reading. I've given myself the gift of time, and I thought, what better way to do my birthday than to do something that I love. I have the week off for vacation, and I'm gonna do tarot today. So that's what I'm gonna do with my time. So let's go ahead and let's get started. Capricorn, messages from the magnetic poetry. And if you didn't know, we had something that fell out, chocolate and beneath. So we'll put those at the top for you. And we'll kind of go with it. If you didn't, one second, pause. Sorry. If you didn't already know, I'm clairsentient, claircognizant, and clairaudient. What that means is that when I get ringing in my ears during this whole thing, sometimes I do, and then I will get like, not auditory hallucinations, but in your mind's ear, if you will. On the right-hand side, those are messages from people I know that have passed on. On this side, it'll be messages from my spirit guides. So let's go ahead and let's get your magnetic poetry for this reading. It is a love reading, but don't put somebody in your mind, okay? This is going to be who it is. And we're going to do this in like list order so that you can jot things down. You can kind of unscramble them the way that you choose. I went and I got my Starbucks coffee this morning. I've never ever cashed in on the free Starbucks coffee. I did today. So that was nice. It's actually, well, I don't know if that's the way they do it everywhere, but it was like anything you want. I didn't have to worry about the fact that I drink almond milk because I'm lactose intolerant, or anything. So, and it was like any size. I was like, oh yeah, it's probably like gonna be like you only get to have grande or something like that. But oh, there's one that was on the back here. There you go. Pause it. Figure out what you need to here for everything. Write them down. Do your thing with it. And again, so this spread that I'm doing, Lover's Path, is actually, I was listening to, one of my favorite bands is Radiohead, and I was listening to Where I End and You Begin, and it says X will mark the place during that song, and it's like when you think about an X, you think about where they intersect. That's kind of the shape of the spread. I'll just show you my ill-laid plans here. This is what it looks like when somebody makes their own tarot spread and they, have an organized mess of a brain. But this is what it's going to look like for you guys today. So that's what I've decided to do, and that's how we're gonna roll. Yeah. So and I don't know if what I'm going to do is everything, but yeah, we're going to use the Paulina Tarot by Paulina Cassidy for you, Capricorn. Please check out your rising moon and Venus sign for additional messages. Like this video if you like what I do. Like this video if it resonates with you. We're going to start out with our first line, which is the current circumstances for you on this side, for them on this side. I've pushed my laptop and my webcam way back as far as I possibly can. I'm trying really hard not to concentrate on the little light that says that my camera's on, so that I'm actually breaking the fourth wall and looking at you while I'm doing my spread. But I'm also going to, as you can see, I'm still getting used to the fact that I'm not recording off my phone, which means that I'm still getting used to looking at the cards and looking at you and all that stuff. And I'll be kind of like, you know, looking at the screen so that I can see that it's focusing, because this camera takes a second to focus, because it's a better camera than recording off your phone. See, the problem with recording off your phone is there's such a massive delay. First of all, it takes forever to encode videos, and then it also takes quite some time to you know, because like I can only do one at a time, and it takes forever for them to upload, and then also it takes forever because I only have so much space on my phone, because I do have a life and I record videos and take photos and have like a whole life of no storage on my phone, right? So anyway, X will mark the space, X will mark the place, the space. There's space you share with somebody, or there's space in between you. Space in between you, spaces between. Interesting. I've never bridged this deck before, because it was so new that the corners were so sharp before. You're getting comfortable with somebody. The corners used to be so sharp on this deck that it gave me paper cuts when I would, I had been doing a bunch of different spreads and readings, and my hands were already like not in a great state, but this was like actually giving me paper cuts. I guess we're getting comfortable. We're getting comfortable. We're getting comfortable. Twist for fairness. Oh, I always do. I only take jumpers and flippers. Maximum of 3 current circumstances for you, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. In the description box, you can find a place where you can find out your other placements, such as your Moon, Rising, Venus, Sun. Current circumstances for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Tell us the current circumstances for Capricorn. You have a flipper. 9 of Swords. Being up in your head, sleepless nights. You could. Do I have to dim my camera? I feel like I have to dim my camera. Why? Why, God? Why? Okay. Current circumstances for you. Is this better? 9 of Swords. Maybe I have to change what I'm using. I don't know. We'll go white instead. Sorry guys, I'm just messing with my camera, trying to figure out how I can get you guys to see better. Should have done this before. I'm sure you'll agree. Guess we're doing this one. But nonetheless, 9 of Swords. 9 of Swords. There we go, that's better. 9 of Swords energy. Sleepless nights. Worry. Being caught up in your head about something. You could be in a sick bed or a grief bed of some sort. There's nightmares also. If we look here up in the top, reveries, nightmares of some nature kind of plaguing this person. There's a lot of anxiety. And you could be having dreams that are troublesome at this time. What else for you, Capricorn? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, current circumstances. Sorry. We're doing a different color of camera today for you because we have a different deck that we're using. Okay. The World in reverse, something not ending, a reconciliation of some sort. Yeah, like I said, this one broke. But yeah. The World card in the reverse is about something not ending. The merry-go-round of crazy, bang your head against the wall, see if it still hurts. Somebody could be coming back, or you're worried about somebody resurfacing. Or you're worried about something not coming to a successful conclusion. A feeling of incompleteness, a lack of wholeness, like something like unfinished business. You could be feeling as if there's something that you lack, or like a feeling like a lack mindset. Because oftentimes what we don't address with the World card is that wholeness, that feeling of completion. It's not just about something ending, but it can also be about the feeling of wholeness that one has, the feeling of, how two halves make a whole. But you have to come to the table as a whole person yourself. There could be a lot of worry that you're feeling like something is not, like you're never going to have something be whole or come to fruition as you would like or as you would wish. Sorry, I just noticed something weird. That's weird. That's really weird. So I have this crystal ball that I've had for like years and years, and it's actually crooked or dented or it's like it's been hit or smashed or something. It's not, but it's like not perfectly round. And it's a sphere. That could be it. Something feeling not well-rounded. Something feeling as if it's not. You got to get the gist of this, right? Something feeling not completely spherical. Something feeling like it's not whole. Or like it's damaged in some way. A feeling of like other people are complete and you're incomplete in a way. What else? It's the worry, it's the anxiety, the dream of anxiety of unfinished business, or something not coming to a successful conclusion, or like you're always going to be missing. There we go, thank you. You're always going to be missing something, or like you're missing something. There we go, yeah. A lack of connectedness with the earth is causing this. You're not feeling connected to your innate creative nature, or like you're not grounded in some respect. And actually, this could be a result of not being grounded enough, or not being connected with nature, or not in a space of creativity. This also is the mother card. You may be feeling a lack of connectedness with a mother figure, with a mother principle, with your divine feminine also. Taurus, Libra energy, because it is Venus who rules the Empress. Artistry. You're worried about your lack of femininity, or like the lack of connection with the divine principle. For you, that's where we're at. Current circumstances for them over here. What do we have? I'm not going to like rush on this stuff. I never do. Current circumstances for the other individual. We have two that have fallen. We have the Hermit in the reverse with the Nine of Wands in the reverse. Somebody, normally Nine of Wands in the upright would be being tired of this struggle yet on the verge of victory. And here we have somebody who is realizing their victory, or has given up the feeling of exhaustion, or is pushing through the exhaustion at this point. With the Hermit in the reverse, they're surrounding themselves by people and forcing themselves through the exhaustion, surrounding themselves by others. This can also be distracting yourself with external things in order to avoid a deep personal truth. Virgo energy on the Hermit. This person is at this time avoiding connecting with the self by going out and surrounding themselves in a social situation, perhaps, because they're avoiding isolation. in an effort to avoid dealing with the struggle that they have, to like dealing with the need for perseverance in a situation. This person might, thank you, yeah, this person might be in a situation that requires them to demonstrate their commitment to another person, and they're distracting themselves by surrounding themselves with others as opposed to confronting the problem head on and taking the time that they need with themselves to deal with it. What else? Tell us more for the other person's current circumstances. And again, don't set your intentions for one individual or another. This is who the universe wants you to know about in this situation. I know it's called the Lover's Path, but excuse me, it's about who it's about. Right? Tell us more. Capricorn. Okay. Page of Swords. They're watching. Somebody's watching. They're worried about other people being privy to their pain. Page of Swords is typically somebody who is watching for the purposes of learning, studying something. A lot of times in social media or online, we see this as a stalker card. But it's definitely just somebody who's an onlooker, mischievous, somebody who is rather immature in their energy, somebody with a silver tongue, messages that are impulsive. But somebody's worried about people watching their pain or watching them go through a healing process. They're trying to keep it very private because they know there are many onlookers who will be watching. Either that, or they know that they could be causing people pain who are onlookers. With the Ten of Swords there. They're surrounding themselves with many people. Let's read this as a sentence here. They're surrounding themselves by many people and avoiding isolation to avoid the need to demonstrate their commitment and perseverance in a situation, because they know that onlookers will be privy to their pain, or onlookers could be healing or dealing with their own pain or an ending of a situation. Remember, tens are completions of cycles. They don't want people to see. The current obstacles and challenges for you at this time, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Capricorn. They have 4 cards. That was not intentional. But they have 4 cards. You have 3. They feel like they're taking on more challenge than you are at this time. Of course, yes, you have a distorted view of things. Remember, I was talking about this. It's supposed to be a sphere, right? It's not. And it's interesting. I've had this thing for like 25 years. Almost 25 years. I've had this since I was like 17 years old. 23 years. And it just now I'm noticing that one side of it isn't necessarily completely spherical. Your issue during the present is that you're in a space of anxiety and fear that if somebody looks at you from a certain angle, that they'll see that you're missing something, or that you're not quite perfect in your divine feminine aspect, or that you're not quite whole, that you're not a perfect sphere, that there's something that's damaged about you. Whereas them, I get the feeling that they're trying to keep from other people seeing, because something's happened where something's ended and they don't want other people to see. Theirs is more in the reality, whereas yours is more in the head. You're more in your head. They're more. They don't want people to see the pain, or they don't want to cause pain. Obstacles, challenges. Trying to spare someone's feelings. Obstacles and challenges. I tried to make sure that one didn't do that, but strength in reverse, loss of temper, courage. The need for courage in a situation, the need for bravery, but also the obstacle and challenge right now. This is Leo energy, by the way, with the strength card. The challenge here for you, one of them, seems to be that you're encountering a period of the need for courage, need to stand up and embrace yourself, to confront your fears. But again, thank you, to embrace who you are as you are. That you're not necessarily going to be perfect, whole. That there may be facets of you that aren't necessarily completely spherical. That the circle might, have an edge that's not necessarily completely rounded off. That somebody, you have to have the courage to confront that and embrace it. I think that you get triggered when this is highlighted in you. That when others highlight it in you, you lose your temper. This could also be in your connection, an obstacle or a challenge. That there's a loss of temper. In addition, an offer of some sort. Three of Pentacles in the upright with the High Priestess in the reverse. 3-2. You could, if I was directly translating this, you could have an obstacle of yours being a fear about that there's a secret. You have a fear that there's a secret or something being kept behind your back about an offer in between friends. You could also, again, be afraid that intuitively people know that you are not in perfect aspect, like you're not in perfect symphony in between the aspects of body, mind, and spirit. That is something that we also don't speak at length about in tarot, is the Three of Pentacles being a perfect aspect of body, mind, and spirit. High Priestess in the reverse is about, secrets coming out, following your intuition, or that you're not following your intuition and that you intuitively know there's something going on in between friends. But it's a fear. Remember, the strength is about courage, and it's your lack of courage. You don't have courage to, that's an obstacle of yours. You're not pushing through the fear that something might secretly be going on behind your back. But it's again, because we have this Nine of Swords up here, it's all phantoms and reveries. For them, current obstacles and challenges. Capricorn. Death in the reverse, something not ending. Something doesn't seem to be ending or transforming for this individual. Scorpio card. Either with a Scorpio or they have Scorpio in their chart. They could have been trying to put an end to something, but they're being chided to push through. and they're using a distraction of social situations, busy work, things that keep them from isolating or being alone in order to push through and distract from the fact that there is something that does need to end. Transformation also, death is not always an ending, sometimes it's transformation. So when the obstacle position comes up and the challenge position comes up of death being in the reverse, it's about something that either needs to transform and isn't, a rebirth that isn't happening, or a death that is not happening, not literal but figurative. Something isn't ending that requires ending. A phoenix rising from the ashes. Something has to transform here. So their challenge is that they needed to put an end to something that isn't ending. They have fear surrounding this. This is the ultimate fear card in obsession. Capricorn energy on this. And they were hoping something isn't ending that has to do with their lack of appropriate respect for the things upon the earth that we indulgence. Something hasn't transformed in terms of indulgence for them. If it was in the reverse, I would say it was more of an addiction thing, or, the aholicisms of the world. It's a fear. Because something hasn't ended, they fear it. They fear being alone, because then they would have to confront it and actually put it to an end. There's gaiety in this card also. Celebratory energy. And they're at the masquerade ball, right? So as long as they play along with something, it's okay. They don't have to confront the fact that something else is going on that needs to end or transform. This person's looking off this way. They're not aware. Something wasn't appropriately ended and another thing began. Wherein and you begin. Their fear is that they've kept something going while something else started. And as long as the festivities are at play, somebody else is blind to it. Look at this person's looking off. The lady is looking off in the distance. She's not aware. She's unaware that something else hasn't ended or transformed. Trying to do it in a tasteful way so that they don't hurt somebody. What else? What else with these obstacles and challenges? If this isn't your story, don't make it your story, guys. I'm not here to incite fear. And another 2 cards. This person's getting 4 cards each time. The Hierophant in the reverse and the 6 of Wands. This is about a divorce, a major separation that they won out victory on, or a collapse of a belief system that's linked with institutions. The 6 of Wands in the upright with the Hierophant in the reverse. It's not always about connections. The Hierophant in the reverse, oftentimes people link to divorce because it has to do with churches, philosophies of a higher order, institutionalized religion, and higher level commitments. However, that's not all it's about. It can be simply about the belief systems, sage advice, priesthoods. And so this could have to do with a challenge or obstacle having to do with them winning out over toppling a higher construct of belief system, toppling a modern, like a traditional philosophy. They're worried about hurting somebody if they see They know there's a healing that needs to take place. This person might have said that they needed to be alone. But now it's like they're saying they need to be alone, but it's like they... or they used a religious belief as an excuse in the past. The religious belief was something that they used before, but now it's different. People can see that they're celebrating and that they're out, but something didn't end appropriately. The obstacle is that something didn't end appropriately. There's victory. They had victory. How is that an obstacle to have victory? They won something. They have triumph and victory rather than defeat in a battle. A battle over their belief system and whether or not it aligned with them. They're avoiding pain. They're avoiding hurting someone. I can't. This is just a lot. I bet you that's like the spa being like, I hope your day is as beautiful as... yeah, treat yourself to a spa experience. Okay, yeah. Sweet, thanks for that. Anyway, I think keeping themselves busy so they don't have to confront that with somebody, because somebody else might be seeing that that's not exactly that's not at all what's going on. They've got something going on and it's contrary to what their excuse was before. They're trying to keep it private. Okay. Alright, where you meet your common ground together in this connection, Capricorn. You get 2 cards for this one. We have the Four of Cups in the reverse. The realization that a connection together is of divine order, or coming out of a boredom, a depression, a state of lack, laziness in connections, the feeling that something is worth it, as opposed to just ignoring the things that are being brought to you of emotional connection, you know. What else? The Knight of Wands, a passionate action towards one another. There's passion here. The passion between you two puts you into a state of understanding that it's almost like it lights a fire. It warms somebody who is rather cold, and it feels as if nothing is, like they don't belong, or as if they're not deserving of love. It warms their heart when they felt depressed and as if they could never be loved. This is 2 people, right? This is your common ground. Your common ground is that you believed that no cups were for you. That all the cups were, you know. And then you have this action here with the Knight of Wands, Sagittarius energy on that one, by the way. The feeling of excitement, the passion, the spark, the action towards one another was like, it's like that. I can hear it. I'm hearing it here. Finally, somebody is excited about being with me, or finally someone is taking the action to come towards me. I'm not the only one. I'm not, it's like, you know, when one person's doing all the work and another person's like kind of just sitting back and receiving all the time. And I don't mean sexually. I mean, we could be talking sexually, this guy here. But I think because we have the Four of Cups in the reverse with it, I think it's more that feeling of, you know, 2 people finally shaking the sleep out of their eyes and and realizing what is being brought towards them and taking action to make it happen. Is that like Flashdance? Something your passion and make it happen, you know? But that's the thing, is that, finally somebody feels like they're not, like something was brought to them, but it was something that both people wanted, and it was apparent that both people wanted. And it's like one person didn't feel like they were like, groveling for affection, or had to, prove their worth in a way where somebody else didn't recognize what they were bringing to the table. I don't really know how else to personify it. I'll give you one more. One more. Come on. I'm playing with it today. I'm playing with cards today. What else? What is it? Tarot Mike calls that the fire pony. Somebody actually got it off their ass and did something about it, instead of, it just being like, whatever. It's like, thank you. Instead of a whatever, I'll take what I can get energy, it's like you have two people whose common ground is they're not just taking what they can get. Nobody in this connection feels like they're settling. Ain't nobody settling here. This is a person who's looking at another person and going, you're the person I want, not the person I need, not the person who just happened to come along and, okay, I'll take that, cool. It's, somebody feels as if they made a conscious effort and a conscious choice, and they feel as if it's somebody that they too made a conscious effort and a conscious choice to be with, and the common ground is that there is just that effort. And I think that in the dating world, the effort equals interest thing is super valuable, because effort does equal interest, and you can't fake effort. You can for a little bit, temporarily you can, but I think longitudinally, you can see that over time, effort can't be faked. People eventually peter out. Thoughts and fears for you, we have the King of Swords in the reverse. You're worried that you're going to lose your head in this, that you're going to become disconnected from your intellect, that you're going to be making all your decisions from heart-based space. Is this better from here? Oh my god, that's way better. Heart-based only, and that you're going to lose your head when it comes to this. You might also have in the past been bitten in the ass by an Aquarian individual who was dishonest, a thief, a con artist, somebody who, because in the upright this is a judge, magistrate, lawyer, an Aquarian individual who presides over law, and in the reverse this is a thief, this is a criminal. You might have been bitten in the ass by somebody who was completely dishonest, who kept you, always second guessing your intellect. Somebody who was extremely emotional, who might have even been playing mind games. I'm hearing over here. You're concerned about that. That's your thoughts and fears at this time. Is that I feel like this is harkening back to something else. It's like, that whole phrase about the old adage about if you do not heal your past wounds, you will bleed on others. I think that's a little bit of it there, and I think that's interesting. We have the King of Swords on that point. But you're worried that you're going to lose your head, and that you're always going to be in your heart about the connection, and that your intellect will not reign. That you won't be able to make wise choices for your higher self. What else? You don't want to become disconnected from that. I think in the past you were, and you might have potentially been ruined by somebody who took advantage of that. That's what I wanted to articulate there. Thank you. What else? For worries, thoughts and concerns, fears. The Hangman in the reverse and the Four of Wands in the reverse, that this might not be a solid foundation connection, that you may never have your solid foundation, 4 posts of marriage bed, 4 walls of the home, stability in a connection. Sometimes paired with the right cards, the Four of Wands in the upright can be marriage. You might be concerned that that's not where it will lead, and you're taking perspective on it. I think you've gained perspective that stability is of importance. If we read these as a sentence, a Four of Wands in the reverse with the Hangman in the reverse with the Knight of Swords in the reverse. A lack of stability, your thoughts and fears, is that you may experience a lack of stability and gain perspective that you lost your head in something, and that you followed your heart entirely and lost your intellectual ability to reason with yourself or logically think through things in a connection. I think that that's a realistic fear in any strong connection where passion reigns and where you're willing to put the effort in with somebody and you're going in on something wholeheartedly. You know? That you... Why did I think I had another card here? Did I not? Anyway, I thought I did. That's weird. Anyway, yeah, you are a little freaked out about that. Rightfully so. It's a passionate connection that two people are putting a lot of effort into, and it lit a spark under you. You're very worried, and that's realistic. Like I said, that's very realistic, that when there's that passion there and you know that two people are putting effort into something, and finally you're not doing all of that work, and it got you excited, that when you're excited like that, that lack of stability could end up being a reality for you. And then eventually you'll gain perspective that you're all in, but you're not thinking logically anymore. This person, what are their thoughts and fears in this connection? What are their thoughts and fears in this connection, Caps? They just spit those out. Magician in the reverse and the Knight of Cups. Okay. The beautiful words. The poetic, romantic nature of everything with this Knight of Cups. The romanticism is just an illusion. That everything that you're expressing, saying, your actions, your efforts, the romantic, watery nature of your connection is an illusion, that it's not real. The Magician in the reverse is about illusions. It's pulling the rabbit out of the hat and realizing the rabbit was always in the fucking hat, that it wasn't actual magic. And that it was all, like, it's all bullshit. You know, it was all smoke and mirrors the entire time. That somebody didn't really have self-mastery of this being in the upright. They didn't have respect for themselves enough to speak their truth, and that this wasn't their truth. Because the Magician in the upright is self-mastery, so that one can master the elements. And in the reverse, it's somebody who doesn't have mastery over the self. So they just say this shit to anybody. This is the fear. This is their fear. That everything is an illusion. That all of the beautiful words, all of the beautiful music, all of the beautiful poetry, all of the romantic nights, all of the wonderful things that are said and done, all of that knight in shining armor energy that you're throwing at them in whatever manner that you're doing it. You could be paying the bills to help them out. You could be, taking them out for lovely dinners. You could be telling them how attractive they are. You could be writing them, because this guy is that, like I said, he's the romantic one. He is romantic action. That it's all to achieve an end. That's what this is. That it's all to achieve an end of some sort. That it's not real. So you might also be engaging in poetic activities, like writing poetry, writing songs, art of some sort, creating something for them. But it's all bullshit. That's what they think, or that's what they fear. Thoughts and fears, right? Like it's like I said, that you're feigning romanticism towards this person to achieve an end of some sort. There's something you're attempting to achieve, they believe. Like it's all bullshit. You're just trying to get something out of them. What else? That might be something that's linked to a deep-seated fear, but also linked to this death card up here in their obstacles. Because it's linked to something that they've seen before. They've seen somebody come in and play that knight in shining armor before. They ended something before because of that. Because they've had the good times with somebody. They've had somebody say all of the right things, but all of the right things were just saying all of the right things because A, they wanted to get them into bed, or B, they wanted to get that purse, or they needed a date for something, or but in the end something didn't transform the way it was supposed to. That they're still trying to reconcile within themselves, or they just can't get rid of somebody. They just can't get rid of somebody who did this to them in the past. They can't get rid of the feeling. And it's a fear now that it's not authentic. In addition to that, we have the Five of Cups. Yeah. It's definitely something that they think of from back here. Five of Cups. They cannot express gratitude or recognize the blessings that are ahead of them right now, because they're fixated on the content that was lost prior. Because they had invested so much in something that was inauthentic prior. They believed in something at one time. They believed in something that was... I'm reading Dignities right now, you guys. So, like, connected up with the Hierophant in the reverse, they believed in something that collapsed for them. It was a hugely traditionalist belief, and it was a higher order type construct that not many people can topple. And it's something that they look back on. People use a lot of different terms with this Five of Cups, and so it's hard to use terms like crying over spilt milk, because it makes light of one's suffering. Because this person, if you think about it, that Five of Cups, they're still fixated on those cups whose contents have long ago spilled out, to the point where we don't even see what's spilt out of them any longer in that card. It's not like fresh, where the wine is still on the ground. The wine is gone, So it's somebody who's consistently looking back at what has been lost. There's like an innocence that has been lost in something. But it's like, it's something that doesn't end. Because it is their obstacle and their challenge. I don't think that's literal anymore, now that I see this. It's the monkey on their back. It's the thing that consistently... And it's actually an obsessive thought. The devil can also be about obsessive, obsessive, obsessive fears and thoughts, compulsive fear. And with the death card in the reverse, I think that's exactly what it is. It's a compulsive fear that pervades somebody's thoughts, that it doesn't have an end. Like I said, with that world card in the reverse, it's like the merry-go-round of crazy. It's almost like the world in the reverse with the Nine of Swords is like their devil and their death in reverse. Something might have happened for them that they were being reminded of now, where they believed that something was for real and it ended. Like they're being made a joke of, like it was never for real, you didn't really want me type thing. You didn't really want me. You just wanted this, this, and this. You used me, or a connection that somebody really put their all into, had traditionalist beliefs about it. It got turned in their head. At the same time, they feel like there is a victory attached to it. There's it's their challenge is to realize that they have won, that they have victory after a great battle. That's in their obstacles and challenges, is that there is victory here. But again, their thoughts and fears are kind of encroaching on them. Okay, moving forward. Moving forward for you, Capricorn. And again, yeah, watch all of them. Watch your rising sign for how you occur out in the world to others, your personality. Watch your moon sign for your feelings, your deep, secret feelings, moods, the hidden. Watch your Venus sign, because that's most closely linked to love. But yeah. Moving forward for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, what do we have? I was trying to make these like less time. It's always the first one that's the longest one though, right? Justice in the reverse. Moving forward, it was spinning and I stopped it, but just a lack of balance and equilibrium. Libra card here. A lack of balance and equilibrium. A feeling that something isn't fair. We'll see what we have surrounding it. I don't think that you're going to, just moving forward, and I don't know how long out this will be, could be up to Libra season. I have to pee. Hold on a sec. That's better. A feeling that something isn't fair. You're feeling that something isn't fair. Not quite sure what that is yet. We'll look at the surrounding cards. You're getting perspective of where something wasn't fair, but it's moving forward for you, where you were done wrong and done dirty in the past by people. That it wasn't you who was unstable, as much as you lacked the fully spherical quality of being a perfect circle. Perfect circle. You don't see me. 3 Libras. You don't see me. 3 Libras. Justice cards, Libra. You don't see me. I threw you the obvious and you flew out on your back. You gained the perspective of where it wasn't you who was not, that wasn't deeply flawed to some point where it was like the biggest deal in the world. It's not you who is the problem. But the deep feeling of injustice over that, but that it wasn't, just because somebody else couldn't offer you stability doesn't mean that you weren't worthy of it. Let's see what else we have here. This might change. This might change with these cards. What else? The Star in the reverse. Yeah, over, this is Aquarius energy. There's healing. You're coming out of a feeling of healing. You treated somebody as if they were your star and they weren't. You gain perspective on it now. Somebody else's lack of stability here was the issue in the past. I feel like you're looking back on this now and there's a realization here. It's linked with your fears because we have the King of Swords here and the Star in the reverse. You followed something as if it was your star. You learned it wasn't your path. But it's where it wasn't about how wholeheartedly you threw yourself into that particular connection that's fueling your fears in the present. It's not, that's not the flaw. The flaw wasn't that you threw yourself wholeheartedly into the connection. The flaw was the lack of connectedness the other person had with themselves. It was okay for you to be passionate and illogical and put yourself and your all into it, to lead with your heart instead of your head. This person was, I don't want to say a criminal because not everybody's a criminal, but they were nefarious. They were unjust, and you are realizing where things were not fair for you in the past. You're healing that. You're coming out of healing from an injustice. You're emerging from healing from an injustice where you followed something that was not your star. Moving forward, you're healing those fears. You gain perspective on it. Anything else moving forward for Capricorn? And I think that'll serve you well in this, because the more healed we are as human beings, the better lovers we can be with those that we choose to surround ourselves with in the present and in the future. Right? Anything else moving forward? Yeah, Six of Swords in the reverse. You're, this is going back. This is going back in time. Moving forward, you're going backwards. You're revisiting that feeling. See, let's read this like this. And, I mean, of course, we've got those cards from your fear line above them, but you're revisiting the feeling of a lack of justice, the feeling of something being deeply unfair, that you followed something that was not your star, that you're coming out of healing from it with a better understanding, but going back to the place that you were before and how you can do better moving forward. Moving forward, get it? But you have to go back in order to move forward. You have to go back in order to move forward. There's healing here. The need for healing. The need to heal that feeling of yourself. That it's not a flaw for you to do that. And I think your common ground in between the two of you is that you put yourself out there. That you did decide that you were going to go after something fervently. You know? That you were going to own your feelings in it, right? That it wasn't just, yeah, whatever, I'll take what I can get. You went for what you wanted. Moving forward for them, finally, moving forward for them, you have a Six of Pentacles. They will be doing some balancing of give and take. This is the charity or the charitable. Libra also. I think this is during Libra season. We have Justice line in this. And 2 sixes already, right? 6s is equilibrium, balancing scales. So your 6 in reverse with their 6 in the upright. This person is balancing something, balancing the give and take in a situation. Also, again, like I said, the charity and the charitable, being able to, having the ability to give to charity, or the ability to, or the ability to say that they need help in a situation. Goodness. With the 8 of Swords. Okay. There's a little bit of a mental prison going on here. Somebody is feeling trapped in a situation of sorts. Or turning a blind eye to something, willful ignorance. The mental prison. Willful ignorance. hands are tied. Tell me more. I'm not going to speak on this until I get more. Five of Swords. That's like a duplicate of the same thing. I am lying to myself. That I'm trapped and bound and cannot help myself. Relying on the help of others when one can absolutely free oneself from this mental prison up here. Self-deception. That they cannot help themselves, free themselves. The willful ignorance that they cannot, not the victimhood mindset, but the, apathy. Thank you. A sense of apathy. They have a sense of apathy in a situation, and it's deception, self-deception. Five of Swords is self-deception, not outward deception like the Seven of Swords. They believe they're deceiving themselves, that they cannot free themselves from a situation where they require help, or where they cannot give more of themselves in a situation. They're deceiving themselves on that point. There's healing work that they need to potentially do to address something from the past for themselves. I don't like to touch on that. That's a little too personal, but it's something that they are willfully avoiding, because and that's a harsh reality, right? I mean, honestly, that's, the conversation with the self is something that they've been avoiding since up here in their current circumstances. So moving forward, they might be continuing to do that. There's a conversation with the self that they're not willing to have about an ending that might have been very public, that they're still experiencing right now, that they know that other people are watching or keeping an eye on. They're not have a conversation with themselves about it. They're on the verge of being able to relinquish some heavy-duty responsibilities and burdens, but they don't want to have the conversation with the self in order to confront that. And when people have been dealing with long-term realities where they have been deceiving themselves and have been in an apathetic state for quite some time, it can be really quite disturbing. The realization that one has not only been keeping themselves from progressing further or enjoying life to the fullest or living their best life or serving their highest selves can be even further disturbing when we realize just how much we've been lying to ourselves, right? Because that means that nobody took from us. We robbed ourselves of our opportunities. And how little of a relationship did we have with ourselves that we didn't realize that we were doing that. Nonetheless, bottom of the deck. How appropriate. They say that this is a choice, the Lovers, that we consciously choose either ourselves or connection with another in the Lovers connection. There are other people who say that the connection of the Lovers is the most challenging connection that you will ever have. It challenges you to grow. It challenges you to confront things within yourself that you never would have. It can also be the hardest connection that you will ever be in, because easy connections don't challenge you. Easy connections don't ask you to be better. Easy connections don't turn a mirror on you and beg the question, are you looking at yourself closely enough and where you can improve who you are, right? I'm curious. Lovers, the sun. Lovers and the sun. With the Knight of Swords. Oh. I see. So the Lovers, the sun in the upright with the Knight of Swords in the upright and the Three of Swords in the reverse. So it is your conscious choice to choose your lover that puts you in a space of being in the sun. Right? Although it might have seemed an impulsive decision initially, it was one of healing for the both of you, and it will continue to be one of healing for the both of you. Healing of deceptions and heartbreaks, and where you will find justice. Where you do yourselves justice and heal conflicts of the past. Huh. Interesting. Alright, that's it. That's what I've got for you. I think I'm going to end it there because it's been like an hour. Let me know if you think this was an interesting spread. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. We'll see. Alright. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being patient with me. Okay. Bye. And happy birthday. Happy birthday.